I spent $700 on DoorDash last month. Yeah, a bit sad, ain't it? Moral of the story: don't use DoorDash if you have no self-control. You don't even realize how much you spend until it's too late. Currently trying to find cheaper meals to eat. My main struggle has been not wanting to eat the same food all the time. However, I always become unmotivated by the seemingly large amounts of ingredients required to sustain new food every night or so. Not to mention, I don't have the greatest cooking skills either. Any suggestions? The answer: sweet Lord, $700 in 1 month on DoorDash. That's literally a car payment for a $70,000 brand new truck. Seriously. I get the feeling of not wanting to eat the same food every night. I also get the feeling of pretty much just being too lazy to make stuff. We can all be like that. The best things that I would suggest to anyone is go to the frozen food section of like a Walmart. There's usually a category of healthy and simple foods that you can get as meals for between $1 to $3 per meal. Side note, I actually saw a few selections for like 98 cents. It can vary a lot. Pretty cheap, mostly healthy, and gives you the variety that you're looking for. And basically just the simpleness of it, because you could just grab it, cook it in like 3 minutes, and there you go, something new to try to eat. Feel free to become a member. Support this in the description. Check out 40inbox.com to master your money, and check out Robinhood to get a free stock. Medical lab falsely promotes they are in network, got hit with a $750 bill. So wife and I are expecting our seconds, and on the direction of her doctor, they had her do a panorama prenatal screen. Because of COVID, they are doing the test remotely through Natura. The doctor's office confirmed this would be done in network, and the Natura website still lists our insurance Empire BCBS PPO as a network. And the website is https www.natera.com in network plans. So then we got a bill for $750. We called Empire and they said Natura is out of network. Wife spoke with her doctor who is in network, and he had us contact his Natura rep, and they're now saying we should have received 2 bills, but she can reduce the cost to $99 each. Am I wrong for thinking we should be paying $0, which is what our out-of-pocket would have been if they were actually in network? I also don't like that Natura is lying about the insurance they work with in network on their website. Who can I report this to? Edit: yes, we are aware that ultimately we should have contacted our provider before the appointment with Natura was kept. The main issue I have is with Natura advertising false information about who is in network on their website. Per Empire BCBS rep, that is illegal and there are contingencies for that. What those contingencies are was not explained. Edit 2. This is the actual language on the Natura website. Please find below the full list of insurance plans Natura is contracted with as an in-network laboratory. If you don't see your insurance plan, please note that Natura accepts all national and regional carriers in the United States. Our insurance plan was on here, and when I spoke with Empire BCBS PPO, they said they did not have an in-network contract with Natura. Edit 3. I've saved a screenshot of the Natura site listing Empire BCBS on their list of in-network providers. So the answer for this one, which, people may disagree with. You basically got screwed with a 14-inch cucumber. But it really comes down to how much this situation actually matters to you. If you feel very wrong about this and are worried about other people falling victim to this, then an option is to press some sort of charges against them. You could probably go to your local police department. You could probably go to pretty much any government agency, or maybe even your health department in your local area, just to like basically notify them like, hey, this is kind of going on. Can you give me advice? But this may end up just being a civil case since it is only for $750. Now, it might be a little bit more, right? It might vary because it might be something actually more serious if they start looking into it. Another option is to just put down the brick you're mentally holding from this experience and just move on. I think every human being that's been wronged would feel like, hey, I feel wronged. I feel like I should get something from this. I feel like something should happen because of this. But the thing is, it really depends on you, right? It simply just depends on how much you personally care about this situation. Now, again, I understand that you might feel wronged in this situation, but is it going to be worth the trouble and potentially the money that you might end up spending to try to right the wrong, right? It's kind of like a situation if someone ends up, basically it's kind of like a situation where, let's say that a friend says, oh, hey, can I borrow $10 and I'll give you it back a week from now, right? A week from now comes by, they don't give you back the $10, right? And they basically say, like, what are you talking about? That was a gift. I didn't say that I was actually going to give it back. When and they know that, they were supposed to give you it back. Well, it depends on, how much do you really care about that $10? And is that $10 worth the relationship? It might be worth the relationship, or it might not be. That's completely up to you. You have the choice in that situation. Same thing with you have the choice in this situation. Now, you definitely should probably report it because it's not a good thing for someone to be advertising like that. But at the same time, going through any more of a process than that might not really be worth it. Maybe potentially trying to sue them or press charges or all that kind of stuff, right? It's not really going to be worth it in the long run. But definitely letting someone know, like, hey, this is kind of sketchy and they need to change this so that people don't end up realizing, oh, wait a minute, I might end up getting charged $1,000 when it only said that, I would actually be charged nothing, right? So it'd be a very different situation, right? Feel free to become a member, support this kind of advice in the commentary. Check out 40inbox.com, master your money, personal finance lessons, personal finance courses. Contact us with your personal finance question or story. Now, this was taken from Reddit, r/personal finance, which is a pretty amazing subreddit. But feel free to submit your own personal story. You could do it anonymously, right? So that we don't know who you are or all that kind of stuff. Just let us know about your own situation and maybe we can help you. So, see you in the future. Considering buying a home that'll make me spend 39% of take-home income on housing. Am I insane? I'm 37, no kids, but engaged, getting married next summer, and never owned a home. Put it off while getting a PhD and then getting my feet under me and saving. But now I'm ready and our dream home just came on the market. The problem is that the market's totally nuts and the dream home is definitely at the top end of what I can afford. The dilemma is that it might be a stretch now, but probably wouldn't be in the near future. And while I know the prudent thing to do would be to get a starter home that sticks to the 28% rule, but frankly, I could be dead pretty soon. And I've put off living well for so long that I kinda want to just do it. Here are the stats. I have about as stable a job as one can have and make about $135,000 gross. And my take home is about $6,500 a month after deductions including retirement contributions. I'm due for a promotion probably within the next year that I'll 99% get, and will probably ask for and get $150,000. I have $100,000 in retirement and $60,000 in savings. No debt of any kind. Own my car, that's a 2018 with less than 30,000 miles. No credit card debt, and just paid off student loans. My partner also has a very stable job. She made about $180,000 last year, but will probably earn more, like $165,000 in an average year. She's got about $120,000 in savings because big purchases coming up, $60,000 in retirement. She is younger than me, and takes home about $10,000 a month after deductions, including retirement, but also gets an occasional and sizable bonus. The difference is the mountain of debt she has from med school. And normally those payments are about $3,000 a month, but no other debt. We'll probably have to offer $860,000 if we want a reasonable shot at getting this house. Have pre-approval from a mortgage program for medical professionals that let us put down 7% with no PMI at today 3.2% interest. We wanted to avoid putting very much down at this point because we're paying for our own wedding. Our families are very poor, so that will probably be $30,000 to $40,000. The taxes in the town this home are absolutely nuts. $15,000 per year. So that's one huge reservation, but it's probably $5,000 to $6,000 more than surrounding towns. Our total housing costs will come out to about $4,900 a month, so basically that amounts to 39% and 35% of our respective take-home incomes. The house was built in 2017, and the disclosures look pristine. It's also seriously beautiful and in a really desirable area, thus the ridiculous taxes. So I'm sure it'll appreciate eventually. Anyway, sorry to barrage you with info, but wanted to put it all out there to head off questions about other variables. But the question is, are we asking for a disaster for considering going for this? We'll probably try to have some kids in a few years, so maybe that's a consideration too. Anyway, you're a wonderfully kind person if you read this far and decided to take a minute to tell me what you think. Too long, did not read. Considering buying a dream house that will end up being 39% of my take-home income, at least for the next year. Am I about to ruin my life? So this is the answer that's going to be for this. Now, before we get started into this, that wedding budget, $30,000 to $40,000. I'm sorry, I don't want to sound rude, but no. Hey, good. No, I mean a fantastic job of working hard, putting yourself and your future partner in position to live a very great life. Also, there is a lot of information in here, so let's break it down. 1. Just marry your partner so that you both can legally be protected and for many other reasons. It's better to be married before you buy a house together or pay her debt, right? You don't want to pay someone's debt that you're not married to. You do not want to buy a house with someone that you are not married to. It is literally just asking for trouble. It is asking for you to just be screwed over. Right? Number 2, you are trying to do too much. Point blank. You ain't on grams of Adderall and meth. Just take it one step at a time so that you two can focus on the same goal at the same time and reach it hand in hand with as little hiccups as possible. Number 3, work on things in this order. Get married, live cheap, pay off debt, save up down payment for house. Very simple, very straightforward. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Again, 4, keep things simple. Feel free to become a member. Support this in the description. Check out 40inbox.com to master your money, personal finance lessons, personal finance courses. Contact us with your personal finance question or story. Now, another thing that you got to also ask yourself, right? What are your goals in life, right? For anyone that might be listening to this or end up watching it, what are your goals in life? Because you could be in a similar situation as these people. And the thing is, their shovels, their incomes are so amazing. Like, they have an amazing income. The only thing is, I feel like because they mentioned it inside their post where like their parents have been super poor, right? That they themselves might be kinda, now I'm not being mean by this, but they might be picking up habits or a thought process like their parents, which is not really a good thing. Because you get, like I mentioned that, wedding for like 30 to 40K budget, right? Does it make sense for you to basically put down a down payment for a house that will literally be burnt to ashes in a single day, while you still have debt that's probably a massive amount, right? Because look, with that income, with your both like these two people's incomes, which is basically around $300,000, right, per year, with that sort of income, you could technically burn $30,000 to $40,000 in a single day and it not really bother them too much. But they have debt, or he will have debt when he ends up marrying her. So that's the thing that kind of scares me, right? Because like, I don't know how much she has in debt. She could have $1 million in debt. She could have $500,000 in debt. She could have $200,000 in debt. I don't know, but this is a very big issue that a lot of people do not end up paying attention. Because look, the best investment that you could possibly make, which by the way, you're hearing a husky drink some water because they are a thirsty boy. The best investment that they can make in themselves for their future is 1, getting married. That's the first and foremost thing, because that's going to be more immediate and you're not going to be paying her debt off until you get married or buying a house. My God, he is thirsty as hell. But yeah, get married and then pay off the debt, because the cash flow that you will have once you pay off all of your debt is insane. And the thing is, you're right. The market is pretty nuts and you're basically buying a house that you can't actually afford. You got to keep that in mind. I don't know how much debt this person has, but you need to get rid of that debt. You have to get rid of the student loans. Because for some reason, I don't know why, but doctors are absolutely horrible when it comes to student loans, in the sense that they believe that they're going to have their student loans for the rest of their lives. No. Go pay off your student loans. Just work hard for the next 2 to 3 years. Don't act like you deserve anything and just